In part 1 we saw that Sun was pushed by someone and she fell from the roof. Hyan saw her and was devastated to see her badly injured. Now let's begin with part 2 of the series. She races her to the hospital. When Han shows up, Hyan tells him firmly, there's no way she tried to kill herself. The next day, the school's principal throws a tantrum over the scandal. The English teacher disappears. Nobody can track him down. Meanwhile, the Korean language teacher heads to his sister's place before flying to Canada for a new job. Hyan, still disturbed, returns to the school rooftop, hoping to find clues. Another student, Kung, walks up and says, I'm in your class. I figured you came here to look for evidence. Do you think Sun really jumped on her own, or did someone push her? The questions keep coming, but Hyan remains silent. Then Kong casually says, don't worry, Sun is still alive. Once she wakes up, she'll tell us everything. At that moment, Ji-won walks by wearing glasses. Hyan stops him. Wait, you're wearing glasses now? Since when? He says, oh, these? They're just lenses. Thought I'd try something new. Elsewhere, teacher Kim finds a pair of glasses left on his desk. He asks Lena if she knows whose they are. She replies, well, they're on your desk. Must be yours. Why don't you try them on? The moment he puts them on, his world erupts in red lines. Back at the police station, Han visits the school to ask about the girl who bullied Sun. The teacher tells him she's been missing for days. Han retrieves the security footage and sees Yun calmly stealing Sun's bag and walking away like nothing happened. Meanwhile, Kim is having dinner with his sister and her husband. Completely shaken by the wild tangle of red lines floating above their heads, Kim begins to have doubts. He suspects his sister's husband is cheating with her neighbor. Why? Because he sees a red thread rising from his head, connecting him to someone on the floor below them. And then, while they're in the elevator, he presses the 4th floor instead of the 5th, as if by habit. That confirms it. There's definitely something going on. Meanwhile, Officer Han is furious. The investigators are trying to close his niece's case as a simple suicide. He does everything he can to make them listen to his point of view, but the case is being shut down hard. They want to bury the scandal surrounding the school. Later, Kim visits the school again and starts forming a bond with the teacher. He casually asks her, what would you do if someone close to you cheated on you? She replies, if I was really sure, I'd go full soap opera, meltdown, revenge, drama, just like the shows. Han finds her answer oddly reasonable. After all, he's been traumatized by betrayal his whole life. His father cheated on his mother, and the girl he loved for 6 years turned out to be cheating on him with his best friend. The next day, 2 disasters strike at once. First, scandalous photos of the English teacher leak online. And worse, he's found dead in his car. Next to him is a suicide note apologizing to his family for what he's done. But as always, Han isn't convinced. Something feels off. Someone else must be involved. Han goes straight to Hyan at school and questions her about the glasses. He's baffled by why Sun would go so far as to steal something like that. Han simply tells him, find the glasses first, then I'll explain everything. And she walks away. Elsewhere, Kim is returning home when he sees his sister's husband driving around in suspicious clothes, clearly dressed up for a date. Kim follows him to catch him red-handed. He waits until the dinner is over, then knocks on the car window. The man is shocked and starts begging, please don't tell your sister. I'll fix everything. Kim decides to keep the secret, hoping it'll help preserve her marriage. He starts packing to leave for his trip, but suddenly he gets a call from his sister. She's crashed her car into the woman's vehicle. Kim rushes to the garage and sees his sister lying on the ground in tears. Her husband arrives and walks right past her to comfort the other woman. That's when Kim completely loses it. He's ready to beat him up, but his sister stops him, shouting, leave him alone. That's when we learn the truth. He was never her husband. She was trying to steal him from his real wife, constantly threatening him that if he didn't comply, she'd ruin everything. That's why he had to keep up the act. Meanwhile, Han, feeling scary, checks on his niece. He searches her room, hoping to find a clue. Maybe a suicide note. Instead, he finds a sketchbook full of human figures connected by red threads. He rushes to Han, knowing she's the only one who can understand this nonsense. She sits him down and explains everything from the beginning, all of it. At first, he doesn't believe her until she shows him the truth right on his face. Then it clicks. She's not joking. The next day, Hyan is chatting with her friends at school. She tells them she started working part-time at a small hotel near her house. At the same time, we meet Joy, who works in the admin office of the same school. She's obsessed with the red-line glasses. The school principal is scolding her for not submitting a proper report. Joy tries to stay composed, but she knows she's never had a relationship in her life. There isn't even a single thread above her head. She returns to her office and takes out her frustration on her stapler. Later during lunch break, she tells her coworkers, you know, my real dream is to be an actress. I've got talent. It's just been buried. They all try to hold in their laughter, but then her face lights up with joy when she sees the music teacher walk by. She has a silent crush on him. After school, she puts on a red dress and a pink wig and checks into the hotel where Hyan works. She books a room to spend the night pretending to be someone else. Hyun thinks she looks familiar until her coworker reminds her, "Isn't that the admin lady from school?" But Hyun doesn't care. She finishes work and heads straight to the hospital to check on Sun. There, Han asks her, "How many red lines do you see above my niece's head?" Hyun replies, "That's personal info. I can't tell you." The next day, Choi returns to school and interrupts the music teacher's class. She starts flirting with him, and surprisingly, a red thread appears, connecting them. Meanwhile, Ji-won is doing everything he can to show Han he likes her. He invites her to the pool, and without thinking, she jumps right in. He panics. He knows she can't swim and dives in after her. After rescuing her, he gently asks, "Why'd you jump like that?" She opens up and explains her power. To her shock, he believes her. When she gets home, she discovers her first red thread has finally appeared. Elsewhere, Choi finishes school and heads to the hotel again. We learn that she often rents a room just to practice her acting alone, but this time something changes. Her room has a small hole in the wall, and she can clearly see into the room next door. She gets addicted to watching people through it. But this time, she sees something she can't handle. The music teacher with another woman. The pain of betrayal consumes her. She waits until the woman comes back to the room, then hits her over the head with a fire extinguisher, ties her up, and steals her dress, the same style the teacher likes. She drugs his water and waits. When he walks in, expecting his date, she surprises him. When he tries to throw her out, he can't. He's already drugged. After killing him, she walks into the bathroom and takes her own life. Later, Hyun finds the crime scene and calls the police. She tells Han there's a high chance Choi had the same glasses. She's seen her wearing them several times. After the police wrap up the investigation, Han returns to the room to search for the glasses. He finds them in the bathtub. The moment he puts them on, his eyes widen with horror. He flashes back to the day Sun was born. He was thrilled, but a few years later, her parents died and he became her sole guardian. He fell into depression. Overwhelmed by the responsibility, he now carries intense guilt. Snapping out of the memory, he returns to the police station, overwhelmed by all the red lines he sees around people. He notices that his colleague only has one red line and tells him, "We really are different people." Suddenly, a student from the same school walks in visibly shaken. She's come to file a sexual harassment complaint. Back at school, Hyun is finally enjoying life with her new friends. They plan a small surprise birthday for her. Ji-won texts her, "What do you say we meet up alone, before the party?" She feels like life is finally rewarding her after years of loneliness. But then, just like that, everything shuts down again. She receives a new message from the same unknown number. It's an invitation to her own birthday. The next morning, she walks into school with one question burning in her mind. Who is this person? And why do they know so much about me? At the same time, Han is deeply immersed in a new case. A female student has filed a sexual harassment complaint claiming she was training with a classmate at his house. She says she fell asleep and when she woke up, something had happened between them. Han suspects she's lying, especially since she claimed she'd never been in a relationship before, yet she had 4 red threads above her head. He and his colleague head to the school to question you, the accused. Coincidentally, Han runs into a teacher there, and he's stunned to see not a single red thread above her head. She's clearly someone with high morals. When they sit down with you, he denies everything. "I don't know what she's talking about. We were just practicing. She fell asleep, so I moved her to the bed and went out to buy some stuff from the market." Just as the interrogation ends, Han runs into Hyun, who is furious. She sees him wearing the glasses and snaps at him. They get into a loud argument, which draws the teacher's attention. She can see the red threads, too. Apparently, the glasses awaken something inside her. Back at the police station, Han questions the girl again. Based on the number of threads and the fact that none of them are connected to you, he's now certain she's lying. With no clear evidence, he decides to drop the case. Later at home, Hyun confronts him. "So, you're not going to give me back the glasses?" He tells her the glasses actually helped him solve the schoolgirl's case. She said she was never in a relationship, but she had 4 red threads. Hyun nods, saying, "That's true. Just a week ago, I didn't even have one." That stuns Han. Something doesn't add up. He and his partner head to Yu's house to investigate further. Inside, they notice the bed blanket is brand new. That means the old one was likely disposed of. They go dumpster diving outside the building, and sure enough, they find the original blanket hidden in a black trash bag. That confirms something definitely happened. Han retrieves CCTV footage from the market Yu claimed to have visited. The footage shows that 4 of Yu's friends visited his place that day. And strangely, after leaving, each one had an additional red thread above their heads. Han arrests them all to interrogate together, and that's when the truth unravels. Yu didn't do anything himself, but he plotted the whole thing. He spiked her drink with a sedative and let his friends do the rest. Later that day, Han rushes to the hospital. He's been told his father escaped again, but this time, CCTV shows someone helped him. Han rewinds the footage and is shocked to see it was teacher Lena. Worried, he runs to the hospital. At the hospital, Han saw the red line of his niece connected to someone. He is shocked to see that it was connected to his own father. In a rage, he starts beating his father. Meanwhile, Hyan is waiting for Ji-won to celebrate her birthday. They go out walking together, and when it gets late, he tells her, "Wait here, I'm going to grab something real quick." He's off to buy her a cake to surprise her. Hyan stands by a mirror in the street, staring at herself in disbelief. She finally has a red thread, just like everyone else. Suddenly, she hears a sharp gust of wind. She rushes toward the noise and finds Ji-won collapsed on the ground. A metal rod had fallen and struck him. She's devastated. She believes this is her fault, a curse caused by her power. Then she gets a video message. It shows her best friend tied to a chair. A voice says, "If you want to see her alive, come to the school." With no one else to call, she contacts Officer Han. They rush to the school together. Once inside, they find themselves on the same floor, but unable to see each other. Hyan finds her friend tied up in a classroom. She runs in and frees her, yelling, "Let's get out of here now." But no matter what exit they take, they always end up in the same hallway. So, they decide to try going up instead, maybe to the rooftop. Hyan, meanwhile, finds himself in a dark, unsettling room. He meets a woman named Moon, surrounded by robotic, lifeless people. She's standing over a table with body parts, smiling. "Only one more left," she says. "I finished off all the men who were connected to me, and I've erased the threads above my head." Now we get her backstory. She was once a university student, betrayed by a man she loved, who filmed her in a compromising situation and leaked the video to the whole campus. She was devastated, nearly ending her life. But that day, she ran into Lena, who saved her and gave her a pair of glasses. "You want revenge?" Lena said. She was the one who's been distributing the glasses all along. Moon spent years eliminating every man tied to her. And with every thread that disappeared, her addiction grew stronger. Without warning, she kills another victim, a bullet to the head. Back on the rooftop, Hyan and her friend are cornered. Her friend suddenly puts on a pair of glasses and says, "You know, I heard that if you die, your soul will spread and everyone will be able to see the threads without needing glasses." Then she lunges at Hyan. Hyan desperately tries to break the glasses, hoping to free her from their influence. At that moment, Lena finally reappears, dressed in white. Her body is glowing with an insane number of red threads. She's holding Han's father by the arm and commands, "Finish him. You've wanted to for years." Han lifts his weapon. He's genuinely tempted, but Lena suddenly grabs his hand and does it for him. She kills Han's father. She then turns to Han. "You're next." Hyan steps in and pleads, "Why are you doing this?" Lena explains, "Our gift is a blessing, but you're the only one who doesn't know how to use it. I'm the only one brave enough to set the truth free." Hyan refuses to follow her logic. So, Lena tries to kill her, claiming that once Hyan is dead, her energy will spread and everyone will be able to see the truth. Suddenly, Hyan's mother appears and throws herself in front of her daughter, taking the fatal blow. She tearfully apologizes. "I'm sorry for leaving you all those years. I had the glasses, too. It wasn't your fault what happened to your father." But Hyan barely has time to process that before Lena attacks her. Threads explode from her body and rise into the sky. The chaos is over. Lena is gone. And with her disappearance, everyone wakes up from the trance the glasses put them under. But there's one problem. The power has now spread. Now everyone, literally everyone, can see the red threads. A year later, people have adapted. People learn to live with the truth, even when it's painful. Hyan and her uncle mend their broken relationship. There's peace between them now. But Han herself becomes a loner again. She walks away from it all. One day, while sitting alone, she hears someone calling her name. She turns her head and there stands Lena. And that is how our series ends. Subscribe for more dramas like this one. Tap the bell icon to get updates and don't forget to like the video. Thanks for watching.